It's okay to play coy. This is exactly what I was anticipating, because initially, when we didn't have any evidence that was direct in terms of an executive or somebody coming out to make a statement as to what the relationship between Black Myth Wukong and PlayStation was, it was okay for people to cast any kind of doubt. And their doubt, maybe it came from a place of genuine accountability, was valid. Yes, you could say that. You say, well, how would you know that there was any exclusivity with, PlayStation and Black Myth Wukong? And you could say, well, the reality is I can base it on certain things, like possibly, PlayStation coming out and not saying anything, and the developers not saying anything. Yet the game, which previously had Xbox marketing, like Stellar Blade, all of a sudden no longer has any Xbox release. And then the developers were hearing all kinds of things. We hear some talk, then we hear some rumors about memory leak. Then we hear the developer so-called say, oh, well, that 10 gigs of RAM is hard for us. We see people basically challenge that notion by putting together hardware pieces that simulate even worse PC components than the Series S, and the game is still running. And finally, we get a PlayStation executive, Phil Rosenberg, come out and say that they worked, or his team pretty much went ahead and was able to work with, and mentions 4 specific games, which include Black Myth Wukong. Right? I'm gonna read this is it right here. I don't care to look at a lot of other things because we've already examined majority of them. I have somebody here on Twitter where, Just Corden pretty much goes ahead to say LOL. This is him basically gloating at a lot of those. And this person, Edmar Lomba, is in full interference mode. They cited Callisto Protocol. I told you they'd cite this game, right? Did I not tell you that they'll cite this game? Because this game, it's known that PlayStation employees helped work on this game. However, the smoking gun is very easy. I'm going to go ahead and point you to exactly where you want to go and see. You want to go to Dan Allen Gaming and his interview with Michael Schofield. Oh, sorry, Glenn. I said Michael Schofield. Glenn Schofield. In the interview right here, Glenn Schofield talks, this particular one right here, he talks about exactly what the constraints were with launching the game cross-generation. They had some technical challenges. And so I'm not surprised that PlayStation would have maybe assisted in mocap or whatever it is. But this game had 0 exclusivity deals attached to it. However, when Phil Rosenberg says that in their GPDR, which is their unit, they have the Content Ventures team, which is led by Christian Benson. And he said there's nobody better in the world than Christian and Sean Benson at finding gems and nurturing up-and-coming companies that are probably off the radar for most of us. They get tons of support from the third-party account management team and partner development team, who are often the very first points of contact. This team, that is going to be the Content Ventures team, they worked with Annapurna Games very early on, games like Stray. The same approach also led to our support of Genshin Impact. These games that I'm citing to you they are literally all, or were all, some form of exclusive games in the PlayStation ecosystem. Black Myth Wukong and Stellar Blade, for example. I have this individual here asking, where did PlayStation say they have an exclusivity deal with Black Myth? Or should I believe you over the company? Because they said that all of these games were exclusive, had exclusivity deals except Wukong, when it's right in front of them, right here. And I said, where did Phil Rosenberg say except Wukong? Or should I believe you over the person in charge of content acquisition? They're trying to deflect. And I'm gonna ask him, have you read the interview? Right? Because this is what so-called PlayStation fanboys love doing. They love to gaslight. They don't realize that many people are patient enough to wait because truth is slow to catch up to lies. This is the approach that they took a lot of the time. They literally took this approach and obfuscated and denied and ran around all of the reality. Oh, sorry, just bumped my mic. Just to tell people who actually claimed that this particular game was money-hatted and make them seem like they were crazy. Do you see what they're doing? And like I said, I expected this. I expect that we're going to make many more videos with many more people coming out, because I can almost guarantee you that even on those comments, this is the only comment that I replied to. Even on the comments with Jess Corden's, response, you're going to already start seeing a lot of people casting doubt already. Tons of support, according to Gaming Bolt. Tons of support that somewhere, somehow, right, the Xbox logo disappeared, just like it did with Stellar Blade. This person says, yeah, they made a distinction in the article and elsewhere about supporting and having an exclusivity deal, which are different. Jess Gordon said, I want to know where in the article that they made that distinction. There is no word that is exclusive in the entire article. I just did a search. Let me show you. You see, there's another person that's running interference that everybody was laughing at in the comment section. See, I looked up the word exclude. There is no single place where they actually say the word exclusivity in the entire article. But yet, they mentioned 4 games that were exclusive. So I drew my conclusions by saying that Stray is a console exclusive, Genshin console, Black Myth console, Stellar Blade, full-time, blown-timed exclusive. And if they did not come out to tell us that there is no exclusivity from Game Science, and PlayStation did not deny exclusivity, yet confirms it by citing other console exclusives, and Xbox stating there were no technical concerns, the Turk simulating gameplay from Black Myth Wukong. Black Myth Wukong was, in every sound manner of analysis, conclusively money-hatted. It's that simple. Do you know why PlayStation fans are actually like trying to defend this stuff? Because many of them realize that PlayStation's own ecosystem cannot thrive without the appearance of third-party developers loving PlayStation and third-party developers hating Xbox. That's the entire play. They've always wanted to make Xbox look irrelevant in the ecosystem. It's been a play to try to just do it that way. That's all the play was. Just make Xbox look like it's not relevant in the market. And people buy it. People buy it. Somebody told me and said, what did they say? They said this is confirmation bias. Like this other person here. It says still doesn't prove exclusivity. You see that? Check this out. Still doesn't prove exclusivity. So, so what they got support. Sony doesn't force devs to code for PoE versions of their main console if they want to release at all. You see this person? It's going back to the Series S claim. I could believe the story of the devs of multiple games across multiple companies hadn't struggled to get their games working on the Series S. All right, list those devs. I'm waiting. Because again, this is usually the case. That you see exactly what it is, that people are doing. Now, some people are not surprised. Some people are like, well, everybody knew this, because again, this is easy to set conclusions just looking at what's going on. Some people are like, is this even legal? Bro, this is legal. This is literally, this is what Congress was basically, calling PlayStation out for doing in Asia. This is just this is not even common sense. Like, the guy is over here telling you and putting names to it. All these people that are saying, like this person that said, Xbox doesn't force, PlayStation doesn't force people to actually do PoE whatever. Let's go ahead and kind of clown your statement, because I know it's necessary that we do that, because that's, I think, this is why everybody mocks so-called PlayStation fanboys. I don't want to do it, but it seems like the evidence and the data just does it automatically. Let's go ahead and look at Christian Svensson of PlayStation. Look at their role. On Twitter here, they basically go ahead and tell you what it is that they do. Because they can tell you, VP, head of second party and third party content ventures and strategic initiatives. Let's look at the other PlayStation person that Phil Rosenberg mentioned, Sean Benson. Okay, let's go ahead and look it up. Sean Benson, PlayStation. Right? Global head of third-party portfolio. Here, director, global head of third-party portfolio. What do these people do? Tell me, what do both of them do? Their job is to acquire third-party content. Portfolio, like it's inside our PlayStation portfolio. Why would anybody use the word portfolio for items that, in a sense, have almost nothing to do? Why not use it for like Elden Ring? This is not stuff I have to explain. Does that make sense? I'm doing this because there is a mutual benefit here. That one, we can expose the lie that some folk have basically engaged in, because PlayStation is not denying it. Like, you know, they don't. This is their business strategy. It's a business model. They don't care. Like, you know what I mean? There are people who have built this notion, though, that PlayStation has this superiority based on, you know, the fact that third-party developers want to develop for them and don't want to develop for Xbox. That notion is a big stinking lie. That's the one that I challenge. Comment section. Let's keep going, guys. Thanks for watching the video. Peace out.